much. Matt Carsandu reporting for MMA Junkie and USA Today here in London, where Bellator MMA held a press conference announcing Rory McDonald's first opponent will be Paul Daley. It goes down at the SSE Arena in Wembley on Friday, May 19th. I'm now joined by Paul Daley. Paul, that was about a 30-minute press conference.
Yes.
Your opponent, Rory McDonald, was only asked, the question about Rory was only asked a couple of times.
Yeah.
The majority of the questioning was all about Michael Venom Page. Was that a bit surreal for you?
Not really, because Rory wasn't here. He couldn't answer the questions if he was asked them. But yeah, it's in the build-up to this whole release of the opponent. Michael's been on his social media trolling a bit, so I'm not surprised that a lot of the questions were about that and about the potential of the fight. But yeah, Rory's a big fight, and next time we have a press conference, hopefully he's here and we'll get his opinion on things.
Well, I want to speak to you about Rory. Is he the kind of fighter that you thought perhaps you may not get the opportunity to test yourself against, given he was so entrenched with the UFC for so long?
Yeah, most definitely. He's a top-level guy. Like you say, he's been kept away from the likes of me because he's in the UFC. He was in the UFC, but I'm happy now that he's over here with Bellator, and I think our fight's going to be fantastic. It's definitely going to be an entertaining one. Yeah.
Is there any fight that perhaps you're going to look to as an example of how you can beat Rory? There was obviously the war he had with Robbie Lawler. Yeah. He obviously had the fight with Stephen Thompson. Is there any fight that sticks out to you that you can look at like that?
Not really. It's such a well-rounded guy. I think I just have to be prepared everywhere. I think the main thing that I have to do is be ready here. And I think if my mind's right and things go well during fight week like they had my previous fights and fights where I've been performing well, then I'll take care of business.
Is what Michael's done over the last couple of weeks almost been to your benefit in a way? And what I mean by that is he's almost done all the hard work to set up a future massive fight for you down the road somewhere.
Yeah, like I said, but people ask about the MVP fight since I got to Bellator. It's not a fight that it's not a question that I've avoided. I said there will be a time for it, and when the time for it, it will be with greater ramifications. I think it's a great fight. It's not a throwaway fight, but MVP, he doesn't understand that yet. He's a great promoter, but there's also timing. He's good at promoting the fight, but there's the right time for the fight. That time's not right now. There will be a time. I don't duck a fight. And like I say, when the fight happens, I just hope he's ready, and I hope he's smiling afterwards, because it's not going to be a joke.
When that fight does happen down the road, are you hoping it will take place in the UK? Because the fans here in the UK have been almost kind of like getting really pumped up at the potential announcement of the fight being made. Yeah,
I think the UK is the only place to hold the fight. It'll be one of the UK's biggest fights, headlined by two British fighters. We've had big headlines here, but it'll be a British guy against some guy from somewhere else. But this will be a massive fight for the UK, and that is what I want it to be, and I want both myself and Mike to be rewarded for it. And it's going to be a great fight, and it's going to happen. I don't duck anybody. Everybody knows that. I'm a nice guy, I smile, I do the interviews, I play up every now and again, but one thing you can really say about me is I'm a fighter. I don't duck a fight. If you want to fight me, you're going to get a fight.